Hi, and welcome to the development of Notes of Citrus. This is a game that I made in a week. The concept was going to be that you're trapped in a house with randomly shuffled rooms, and you need to find 3 items to try and open the door and escape. I knew I wanted to make it in a week as well, because otherwise I would have spent a lot of time just tweaking everything and trying to get everything right, and really setting deadlines for game dev I've found has been a really good way to keep the scope manageable and not put in, features that you're just going to sit there and bug fix forever. Like, it's usually you take a first pass on something and then that's the final product, and that's a good way. I found that's been a good way to actually do this whole thing. But anyway, yeah, Monday, day one, the first thing I wanted to do was get a design document going. I knew that I wanted to at least get the idea of it going, so the first thing was to get the characters set up and to get all the furniture for all the rooms set up to basically I had an idea that there was going to be a house, the stairwell in the center, the basement, and the first floor was going to be static, and all the rooms around the outside were going to be randomly shuffled every time you play. So the items in the actual level are going to be in a different position every single time, so it's not like every time you play the game to run up to the bathroom and grab the hammer or whatever, or do anything like that. There would at least be a little bit of randomness. So that was going to be the idea for day 1 and 2, was to just model everything, to get all the characters modeled and rigged and animated, and then to get all the furniture there in the game. Day 2 was going to be get those characters pathfinding, getting them moving around the level really roughly, just to get a rough idea of how they're going to patrol and things like that. They weren't going to be very super clever in the way of AI. They were just going to sort of have a couple of rules where they're going to walk from point to point around the level, and then if they see the player in a sort of cone of vision in front of them, they're going to walk a little bit faster towards the player, and then once they touch you, an animation is going to play, and they're going to take you back to the start. And then on the third try, they're just going to decide that you're not worth the effort, and rather than fixing the cage that you keep escaping from, they're just going to cannibalize you, and it's game over. Day 3 and 4 was just going to be blocking out the level and getting everything ready in Pro Builder, and also trying to get that random shuffling going for each of the levels, and to get the 3 objectives spawning consistently as well. It was basically going to be: the front door's locked with a padlock. You need a key to get out, but the key is locked in a little lockbox. To open the lockbox, you need a hammer and a chisel, so you need to search the house to find those and not get caught, because once you get caught, all your items are taken off you and you're sent back to the basement where you've got to break out again. Day 5 was really good, because that was pretty much after everything was set up. All the rooms were randomly shuffling, all the objectives were spawning, the characters were moving around and patrolling, and it was the first time there was an actual gameplay loop, because you could get caught, you could get sent back to the start, you can restart, everything worked. And it was really it was the last day, so it was just spent doing polishing and adding a start screen and an end screen and game over, and I pretty much went through and added sound for every single thing and did some atrocious voice acting.
Oh, it's so cold out tonight. Why is it so cold?
And I got some friends to play it and sort of give me their opinions. One friend mentioned that you can sort of get the enemies to chase you, and then you can run around to the first floor balcony and just hop off and just dip them completely, and all their patrol will just reset. And so I had to fix that. I had to add a little barrier there so you can't do that. And he also mentioned that some of the objectives were I think he couldn't find the chisel, so I had to go back and just add a little bit of a glowing effect to all the items, just so it's a little bit more obvious that that's what you need to pick up. He also found that as soon as you spawn in, when you're in the little prison, you can just push up against the bars and kind of smush yourself between them. So I had to go back and add a collider there as well to stop it getting out and sort of make it seem a bit more like a jail cell. And that was day 5. It was finally finished, and it was at a point that I was happy with. It was also fun to test as well, because since the levels all randomly shuffle, it kind of felt like I was testing something different every single time. I really recommend trying to make a game in a week, because it can really help keep you sort of motivated and focused on your project, because you know that the clock's ticking and you need to finish something. It can also stop you from sort of overcommitting to certain things, or maybe promising too much for the game. you learn how to sort of manage your expectations and, you know, not overcommit to ideas. And there's a good YouTuber, Jonas Tyroller, I think his name is, where he talks about building a skyscraper from the bottom to the top instead of from the left to right. You know, you start with core gameplay mechanics, get that in place first, and then sort of add features on top of it that you know you can finish, rather than adding all these superfluous gameplay mechanics that might be pushing you further and further away from actually finishing your game. But overall, this was like a great experience, and I highly recommend it. And if you do get a chance, please play this game, because I had a lot of fun making it, and yeah, I just want to see what people think. So thanks for watching, and if you've played, thanks for playing. Please leave me a comment on my Edge page. It always helps me get better with feedback, and yeah, thanks a lot.